Okay, Assalamualaikum. So my name is Amir Hafiz bin Visals. So today I want to explain the case backgrounds of our case, which is the Watergate scandals. So on June 17, 1972, five men were arrested at the Democratic National Committee (DNC) headquarters in the Watergate complex in Washington DC. They were caught attempting to install wiretaps and steal sensitive documents from the DNC offices. The incident was initially dismissed as a minor crime, with the Nixon administration describing it as a third-rate burglary. Despite this initial reaction, the event would soon unravel into one of the most significant political scandals in U.S. history. So the men involved in the break-in were soon connected to the President Richard Nixon's re-election campaign, officially called the Committee to Re-elect the President (SCREEP). Investigations revealed that the burglary was part of a broader strategy to sabotage Nixon's political opponents and gain an unfair advantage in the upcoming election. In addition to Liddy and Hunt, James W. McCord, a security coordinator for SCREEP, was among the arrested burglars. Four other operatives, all Cuban Americans with ties to anti-Castro activities, were also involved, highlighting the complexity of the operation. As evidence linking the burglars to Nixon's campaign began to surface, questions arose about the administration's knowledge and involvement. This marked the beginning of a long investigation that would expose widespread corruption, lead to high-profile resignations, and ultimately force Nixon to resign. So, that's all for me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Amir Hafiz, for the presentation just now. So my name is Tengku Azri and I will continue presenting about the case background. So for the cover up, okay, so first we look at the background, which is the taping system and its role in recording conversation that become key evidence. So why? Okay, let's take a look on the story, which is in 1971, President Nixon had a secret taping system installed in the White House that captured crucial conversations relating to the Watergate break-in. One recording from June 23, 1972 became known as the smoking gun tape and showed that Nixon had outlined a plan to utilize the CIA to stop the FBI investigation. So this related to the evidence point, which is the smoking gun tape proving Nixon's involvement in obstructing the FBI's investigation. So, what is the action taken? Okay, so during the investigation, President Nixon denied that he had um, not doing anything wrong and attempted to withhold the tapes by using executive privilege. But on July 24, 1974, the Supreme Court ordered him to release them and they revealed unmistakable evidence of his guilt. So, as for the outcome, the Supreme Court's ruling and the release of the tapes that confirm Nixon's role in the cover up. Okay, so last but not least is the key event. So there are five main points that I want to highlight. Okay, so it all begins when the special prosecutor Archibald Cox demanded Nixon takes sparking a legal battle. So on October 20, 1973, Nixon ordered Cox firing in the Saturday Night Massacre, leading to resignation of top officials and public outrage. Despite attempts to block the investigation, the release or revealed by the President Nixon obstruction, and it's eroding the public support. Okay, so the House Judiciary Committee approved impeachment articles for obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and contempt of Congress. Facing probable impeachment, Nixon resigned on August 8, 1974, and was pardoned by President Gerald Ford the next day, escaping criminal charges. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So next, moving on to the offences committed, the Watergate scandal involved a series of illegal activities and cover-ups that ultimately led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon. Here is a deeper dive into the offences committed. The first one in the offences committed is burglary. On May 28 and June 17, 1972, operatives from the committee to re-elect the president broke into the Democratic National Committee headquarters in the Watergate complex. During the second break-in, 5 burglars were arrested while attempting to wiretap telephone and steal sensitive documents. Next is wiretapping. The burglars were caught trying to attach listening devices to telephones to monitor conversation. Next is perjury. The several individuals, including White House aides, committed perjury by providing false information under oath during the investigation. The fourth one is obstruction of justice. There were efforts to interfere with the justice system, including destroying documents, paying bribes, and pressuring individuals to commit perjury. The next one is money laundering. The process of covering up the origin of money obtained illegally was also part of the scandal. Last but not least is conspiracy. In this part, there was a plot to commit the above crimes involving multiple individuals and organizations.
Hi everyone, today I will be discussing the profound effects of Watergate scandal, both on individuals and organizations. Let's begin with the impact on individuals. Firstly, it led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon, making him the first sitting US president to step down from the office. This was largely due to the Nixon tapes, which his secret recordings of conversation in the Oval Office, which serves as the smoking gun, proving his involvement in a criminal cover-up. Additionally, nearly a dozen of Nixon's advisors and associates faced prison sentences, highlighting the serious personal consequences of political scandal. Now, let us look at its impact on organization, especially the media. Watergate revolutionized investigative journalism. The work of Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein at the Washington Post demonstrate how deep investigative reporting could expose corruption at the highest level of government. This inspired a global shift with news organizations creating dedicated investigative teams to uncover societal issues like political and corporate misconduct. The scandal also drove legislative reforms such as the introduction of laws for appointing special prosecutors and protecting whistleblowers. These changes fostered greater transparency and accountability across various sectors.
Agree.
Okay, so for the first lesson, let's start with the ethical leadership. Actually, the Watergate scandal really show why leaders need to stick to strong moral value, and Nixon actually tried to cover up the break-in at the Democratic National Committee, and because of that, trust in the government was shaken. If leaders do not act ethically, they risk causing serious problem and losing the people trust, and that affect everyone, not just the politician. So the second lesson is about check and balance. So one big lesson from Watergate is how important it is for different part of the government to keep each other in check, and the legislative and judicial branches helped investigate the scandal and make sure the president was held responsible. This system actually to prevent any one part of the government from becoming too powerful, which is really important for keeping our democracy fair. So for the third lesson from Watergate scandal is rule of law. Actually, Watergate also showed us that no one, not even the president, is above the law. Nixon had to resign because the legal system held him accountable for his action, and this proved that how crucial it is for everyone, no matter how powerful they are, they still need to follow the law so it can keep everything fair for everyone in the country. So next lesson is about transparency and accountability.
Watergate was all about secrecy, and that really made people lose trust in the government. So when the government is not transparent, citizens cannot see what is going on, and that is a problem. So it is really important for government to be open and accountable to the people, and it helps keep the system legitimate and make sure that we can all stay involved in what is happening. For the last one is the consequences of abusing power. So Nixon used government agencies for his personal gain, and it backfired badly, and he had to resign. So this show how dangerous it can be to misuse powerful, and it also reminds us how important it is for leaders to stay ethical, because abusing power only lead to serious problem.